Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumors, and results. This is the last episode of Kick It to Scoops for 2024. Obviously, there'll still be plenty of trade and draft videos, the AFLW show, all interviews and goal kicking challenges that I do. But the Brisbane Lions are the 2024 AFL Premiers in a comprehensive 60-point win over the Swans.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Scoops.
Well, everyone believed in the Brisbane Lions, or did they? People were like, nah, Scoops, Sydney are going to win. Sydney will win. Sydney will win. No. You are wrong. The Brisbane Lions gave them an absolute spanking at the MCG. Over 100,000 people witnessed this game in person and millions watching at home. It was another shit grand final, let's be real. It was boring as boring could get. The first quarter was reasonable, and the other three were crap. Unless you're a Brisbane fan, you did not enjoy that. Or if you're a Giants fan to a degree, you don't like Sydney. Basically, if you go for Brisbane or hate Sydney, you liked it. And if you didn't go for either of those, you hated it. And I hated it. I thought it was boring. As boring could get. Some great scenes, though, at the game did include, Miles will get right into it, the grand final. The scenes here, Chris Fagan has been through so much. With Lee Matthews there, he is pictured. Been through so much. It was great to see the Brisbane Lions get the win for Fagan and all the stuff he's had to be through with you-know-what. Congratulations to the Brisbane Lions. Swans, not good enough. This chat about, Isaac Kenny was injured and Logan McDonald, don't play him. Bad luck. Don't want these excuses. You played them, you named them in the team. It's bad luck. And that's just a fact of life. Yeah. But yeah, congratulations to Brisbane for winning the 2024 AFL Premiership. As for the game overall, Chad Warner was really good for the Swans, but for the Lions, it was Will Ashcroft who won the Norm Smith medal. I thought Lachie Neale could have won it, Kai Lohmann or Callum Archie. All four well-earned winners of that award. They were the four in the top four. But personally, I would have had it as Kai Lohmann as he kicked 3 goals in the first quarter or so. But here we are. Now, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Want to aim for 20 likes for this video. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees or any state league players and you'd like to see them on the podcast in a goal kicking challenge or an interview, please do send me a message or try and get something sorted. Cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, Cameo.com/Cooper G. If you haven't checked out any of my Scoops Footy Festival play interviews with Bonnie Toogood, Kate Hall, Lily Mithen, Maddie Prasparkas, Montana McKinnon, Ash Riddell, Andy Brayshaw, Tom Green, who won the Scoops medal for 2024. Jack Viney and Dylan Moore and more. Get it? Dylan Moore and more on the show. Go and check out that video. To be honest, I'm pretty disappointed with the views that video has done. I put a lot of effort into making that video for you all and time putting that together. So we'd greatly appreciate if you can go and check that out. I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully some more interviews and goal kicking challenges coming up. I know it's been a bit light on for interviews and goal kicking challenges lately, which is a bit annoying for being brutally honest. I've still been trying to reach out with not much luck. So hopefully things can eventuate very, very shortly. Hopefully, I'm talking to some people at the moment through a few leagues. So I'm hoping I can have some lined up sometime soon, preferably now. But unfortunately, you don't get everything you want. I would know. I have plenty more plays on my podcast that I have heard that they'll come on, and they haven't. Or for goal kicking challenges, etc. So it's frustrating. But, but yeah, so It is what it is. I guess it's frustrating. But one thing I want to add to the grand final as well was that Joe Danaher's last game. He got up and about, but yeah, okay, that could be a sign he's retiring. But a year to go on a contract, and he's only 30 years of age. Be a bit of a surprise, to be honest. It did come out of nowhere when I saw that report. But yeah. Now, congratulations to Mark Robbo Robinson, who has left AFL 360 after 15 years. You know, how do I word it? Let's just say I'll give a better tribute for Robbo than what AFL 360 did last night. You know, Robbo, full disclosure, I've spoken to Robbo before online a few times. All my interactions with Robbo have been great. You know, good bloke. You know, people just don't like him for whatever reason. That's fine. But, you know, the guy means well. He broke so many stories over his career. The chemistry he and Jared Waitley had was a partnership that couldn't be broken. Like, there will be no more Jared Waitley and Mark Robson on AFL 360 together. No matter who replaces Robbo, the show will never be the same. Now, the late Danny Frawley, when he left, when he unfortunately passed away, his role on Bounce, the show would never be the same without Danny Frawley. It's the same with Mark Robinson. You know, things can't last forever, as they say, in terms of like people on the same show all the time and that, like 360 and Bounce and everything like that. Obviously, Bounce was unfortunate circumstances with Danny, and Robbo, with a different circumstance, just been moved on. I want to bring up one of my favourite moments of AFL 360, and it's one that many people talk about. To be honest, I could think of others, but it popped up in my news feed, so it's back in the back of my mind. Was when they were doing like Twitter questions, and someone wrote in, I assume this person may have been like 16 years of age or something like that. They were so excited that his team got the win. He got invited to the strippers, and his dad said no. The reaction, Robbo and Jared, like, they could not stop laughing, and it's just, you know, there's many great moments I've had. They've done a lot of work for Neil Danaher, the Danaher name as well. All the foundations they've, you know, covered. Matty Rewalt's vision as well, Rui. They've both done so much, but we're talking about Robbo here. A great guy. All the experiences I had with Robbo were great. So congratulations to Mark Robinson on a wonderful tenure at AFL 360. The show will never be the same. We'll miss you, Robbo. Now, see, Fox, that's how you do it. Plus, you got more of a personal connection, so you should elaborate more. I did more for Robbo in the 15 years he was on than you did last night. Shame. Robbo did say on radio this morning that he was told last week he wouldn't be on for future years, which is disappointing. So, well done, Robbo. All the best, mate. Hopefully you're doing something in the media still next season. But what I will say, the Jared Waitley stuff, I thought it was pretty poor from Jared. You know, the guy that knows him better than anyone would have given a lot more. But I'm going to give Jared the benefit of the doubt, because he may have been forced to not give much. But then again, he could have still done it, but then he could have got in trouble. So I'm going to give Jared the benefit of the doubt here. I don't know if Robbo covered that on the radio interview he did this morning. But, yeah, wish him all the best, Robbo. Now, please welcome for the last time on this show for the season to the world famous segment, Scoops Goes. Bang! Well, Scoops, end this Kick It to Scoops podcast on a bang. Oh, I will. Do you all remember for the 2010 AFL Grand Final between St Kilda and Collingwood, which was labelled Australia versus Collingwood at the time. St Kilda got robbed of that grand final. And now we fast forward 14 years later, and St Kilda again are getting screwed at the MCG on grand final day against Collingwood. Darcy Wilson was freaking robbed right in front of me. Bo McCreary did not win the grand final sprint. Darcy Wilson clearly did. Before I show proof via a photo, again, I talked weeks beforehand about the AFL trying to screw people, clubs, teams in anything. The Brownlow's rigged, as we know. The All-Australian team was rigged. A lot of things the AFL have done are rigged, favouring Geelong all the time, the most protected club in the competition. And now I said they've got to find a way to screw St Kilda or something to do with St Kilda in again, somehow. The AFL are just going to find a way to screw St Kilda over again in something. So now they've done it in the grand final sprint. The grand final sprint is now officially rigged. Here is your proof of it being rigged. You can see here that Darcy Wilson's hands are clearly over the line. Bo McCreary hasn't even reached the bloody line yet. Case in point, Darcy Wilson was screwed and robbed right in front of me. Let me say that one more time. Darcy Wilson and the Saints have been screwed again and robbed right in front of me. Bullshit. Look, Darcy's hands are on the rope and over the rope. Bo McCreary there, number 31 for the Pies in the right-hand side of the screen, has not even reached the rope or touched the rope. Absolute bullshit. Again, the AFL wants to screw St Kilda over again. Lift your game, pathetic. Short and sharp. But I thought that was good way to end the show. Oh! We'll end Scoop Show's bang on this show for the season. But I want to add another one. Why not? Andrew Bassat, the Saints president at the Saints BNF last night, that Cal Wilkie won. By the way, why didn't Rowan Marshall come second is astonishing. But anyway, or even first. Personally, he was the best for St Kilda for me this year, Rowan Marshall. It should have been the All-Australian Ruckman. The All-Australian Ruckman. The All-Australian Ruckman. Robbed in that again. Another thing we got robbed in. Now, Andrew Bassat ripped into the AFL. I'm sure they'll fine him and tell him off and maybe even suspend him or give him a please explain. Because apparently speaking the truth about the AFL gets you in trouble. It just said that the system is a joke in terms of the academies and the father-son, the bidding system. And it is. Now, on my live stream, someone suggested to me that you have to bid. So an example they gave. So for example, with Levi Ashcroft, as that was the whole topic of someone that's going to go to Brisbane and Sam Marshall for free, essentially, because they're going to bank picks at the back end that accumulate the points of the top picks and where the bid will probably be. And you can go into deficit a little bit as well. So the idea was thrown to me that, make the pick be a bid in the round they're bidded on. So, for example, with Brisbane, if they didn't have a pick in the top 18, bad luck. They don't get Levi Ashcroft. They haven't got a pick in that round, the first round, where this would happen. For Levi, they don't get him. They have to bring in a first-round pick of that year for where the bid would be. And I thought, but then it's pick 18. He's way better than pick 18. So I thought of a different scenario here to make it harder for clubs and where they have to strategically work better in the trade period and live drafting on the night is, for example, it's a bit similar to that, but where it would be, so for example, right, if Levi Ashcroft was bidded on at pick 5, Brisbane would have to have a pick before pick 25. And that goes on and goes on and goes on. Now, you're probably saying, how the hell are they going to have a pick in there? Well, that's where you get creative, ladies and gentlemen. You go, okay, where is the bid going to come for Levi? Could be around pick 5, could be earlier. Let's just say pick 5 for this example. Then Brisbane know they have to have a pick in the top 25 on the night when the bid happens. They can't trade it in, or they can, but it has to be before the bid. Can't be after. You can't start doing trades once the bid comes. Like, that's locked and loaded there. You've got to have a pick in the top 20 of when the bid comes. That could be a way to make clubs pay up more that are getting these players, because they may have to bring in a pick in the 25 range, or hang on, or top 20 if it's pick one. Like, they could be like, hang on, we don't have a pick in the top 20. What the hell? Well, then you don't get him. That's an idea I floated last night on my live stream. And a way, too, I mentioned that you shouldn't be allowed to use so many back-end picks in the 40s and 50s to accumulate those points. I feel like you can still do it, but you have a limit. Like, for example, for clubs that have academy and father-son people, you cannot bank up, say, 6 picks between 40 and 60 and use them to get picks in the thing. I'd say, for example, you have a limit of 3 picks after 50 for ones that are trying to accumulate points, or after 45 range. It's a way where they can still get the players that way, but they can't just bank up millions of points to accumulate to pick 10, because that's unfair. So that's suggestions that I threw on my live stream last night. Let me know down below what you think of that. I believe that's all I said in regards to that. So I hope that's all I said. So I covered it on here. That's the way they could do it. But Andrew Bassat's right. The rich clubs always get richer. They always get protected. Like Geelong, they're the most protected club in the competition. When Chris Scott whinges about something, nothing happens to him and his club in terms of being fined or suspended. But when another club says something, please explain. Like Tom Green, when he spoke the truth about the AFL and how they favour people and the Toby Bedford suspension, he spoke the truth. He got in trouble. They got told to take that podcast episode down, or that portion of that video. Like, fair dinkum, the AFL don't like any comments against them. But here's the thing. I'm right. Tom Green was right. Andrew Bassat last night was right. But I bet you he gets in trouble as well. The AFL don't like you speaking the truth. The AFL only like favouring certain clubs like Geelong. They like only helping their favourite players in the competition, like Patrick Dangerfield or Bontempelli or players like that. That's all they do. That's all they care about. Do you see them caring about the middle tier players to the lower tier? No, they don't give a crap. The AFL need to lift their game. Pathetic. All right. Now, also, another Scoops goes bang. Can the AFL please have a good grand final for once? Like, this year's one was crap. Sydney Geelong was crap. Whoever was, besides the Dom Sheed game against Collingwood, and to a degree Collingwood Brisbane last year, the rest of the grand finals in the last 10 years have been shit. They've been boring as boring could be. Sorry, since probably 2016, so 8 years. We've had 2 or 3 good grand finals in 8 years. Like, that's not good enough. These are 2 grand final sides, and they've been one-sided in those other 5 or 6. Like, we just have a good grand final, please. Seriously. Now, Katy Perry, people keep asking me, what are your thoughts on that? I don't care what the music is. Okay? I don't care if it's Taylor Swift. I don't care if it's Katy Perry. I don't care if it's Meatloaf. I don't care if it's AC/DC or anyone like that. I just want the game to be good. I don't care what the pre-match entertainment is, or the halftime entertainment, or the post-game entertainment. I want an entertaining contest on the football field during the game. That's what I want. I don't care who the music people are. I could care less who it is. So, to the AFL, lift your game, pathetic. Right, now we're going to wrap it up with some trade talk. Now, I'll be doing a lot more trade wrap videos from Friday to the following Monday to that Friday, then that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of that next week. You will see daily videos, essentially excluding the weekends. Unless there's something big to drop, then I'll do a video. But that's the plan for trade stuff, so don't worry, this will be a lot of trade talk. But here's some for this episode right now. Dan Houston, Carlton have been annoying when it comes to the trade. They refuse to put pick 11 on the table. That's our only first round pick. Dan Houston is worth pick 11 and a future first. Carlton don't want to budge, well, then he won't go there. Will Carlton cave in? North Melbourne are around the mark as well, believe it or not. They've offered pick not pick 3. They've offered their future first, which will be a top 3 pick because North are useless. Pick 5 at worst for them. So Port should take that and run. But the problem is, we all know he wants to go to Carlton over North. So that's why you haven't heard an official club that Dan Houston's mentioned, and he probably won't. If anything, he'll mention Carlton. I feel like it's getting stronger and stronger that he stays, which personally I would love, because then they give St Kilda another chance next year when he'll want to leave again. But right now, Carlton's the club he wants to go to, realistically. We all know that's the case. Hence why Bulldogs aren't in the race and Kilda moved away and everything like that. So we'll have to wait and see on Dan Houston, but I feel like the longer this takes, the more of a chance he is to stay. Point later got a fair few other things to worry about, like Jack Lukosius coming in, Ivan Soldo going out to St Kilda. So watch your space on Dan Houston. He's no guarantee to leave to Carlton, to North Melbourne, or to any other club, which I know some Port fans would be really happy with that, considering they missed out on Harry Perryman and Isaac Cumming. Isaac Cumming chose the Crows. That'll happen as a free agent, which will probably happen on Friday. Harry Perryman will join Collingwood on a 6-year deal. It was confirmed this morning as a free agent. He's a lifelong Pies fan, Harry Perryman, chosen his childhood club. Where does he play for Collingwood? I don't know. He can play he can play half back, he can play half forward, he can play in the midfield, so even on the wing. So where does Harry Perryman play? I think he plays down half back, as Collingwood probably needs the support in that area, but he's saying that they need some more forward options when Jamie Elliott eventually retires. But Perryman can play a few positions, so that's the flexibility that they'll like at the Pies. Craig McRae, I'm sure, we're happy to have Harry Perryman on board. Jack Lukosius go to Port Adelaide. That will happen, so don't worry about that. Van Solder will get to St Kilda as a backup ruck to Rowan Marshall. They may play together, I'm hearing, where Marshall plays more forward. How do I feel about that? If Soldo can hold his own, I like it. If he's playing bad, put Marshall back in the ruck, and you have King, Sharman, Membry, and or Caminiti there as well in the forward line. Now, Jack McRae will happen. Pick 43 is around the mark for Jack McRae. Personally, I feel like Jack McRae is actually worth a pick in the 30s. I think he's that good, and he's got 3 years left on the contract. But the Bulldogs played him as a sub so many times, so they lost all the trade value in this. A pick in the 43 range is absolutely fair enough, considering how they've treated him. In fact, I would go as far to say he's worth nothing in a trade because of how Bulldogs have played him. Subbed off. You know, Jack McRae's a 3-time All-Australian. He's the inaugural SCOOPS medal winner. Jack McRae is a good bloody player, and I am so pumped when he joins St Kilda, Jack McRae, to join Steely and Crouch if he doesn't retire, Filippo and co in that midfield, and potentially guys that we draft in as well. So I like the sound of Jack McRae in the Saints midfield. Where are we? James Peatling, the Crows have come in late. He has met with Adelaide as well. St Kilda and West Coast. The Western Bulldogs have been linked to him, North Melbourne. I think it's 7 clubs, and he still could remain at the Giants. So watch your space on James Peatling. It's going to be a very interesting watch to see where he goes. Adam Tomlinson also, apparently, according to certain people in the AFL landscape, in the media, they said that Adam Tomlinson may not join St Kilda now, which is really disappointing. I feel like we can never have enough defender options. We don't have many. We delisted a few. Zane Cordy's the only other option that wasn't playing regularly this year. So I would keep the interest in Adam Tomlinson, but we will have to wait and see. Alrighty. And by the way, Clayton Oliver has apparently met with Geelong. I would like to know Geelong's unlimited salary cap. And also, one last one I want to leave you with. Sho Bolton is no guarantee to join Fremantle or West Coast for that matter. And by the way, for people that keep saying, oh yeah, he's going to pick Freo, he's going to Freo, blah, blah, blah. That could happen. But he hasn't nominated a club, and apparently, according to reports, won't nominate a club because West Coast are going to stay in the conversation because he just wants to get home to WA. And if I'm Richmond, I say, no, you're not going anywhere. We're not losing Baker and Graham, who are going to West Coast and have a nominated West Coast. And then losing him as well. Yes, they're going to be bad, but I would say we don't want to be that bad. And also congratulations to Andrew McWalter, who's the new West Coast coach on a 3-year deal. And that's probably why Baker and Graham got announced yesterday, hours after McWalter was named the coach. My final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/CooperG. Want me to roast a friend, wish somebody a birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/CooperG. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draft picks, and you would like to see them on the podcast in a Gold King Challenge or an interview, please do send me a message or try and get something sorted. Thank you all for tuning in to Kick It to Scoops for season 2024. Still plenty more content. The Scoops AFLW show remains, interviews, Gold King Challenges, trade and draft content, videos, vlogs, etc. Cricket vlogs may be returning in a few weeks. So there's your scoop for the cricket season. Thank you all. The most important thing of all to remember is go the Saints. And of course, acknowledge me, the one, and all aboard the Filippo train. Then, now, forever, together. Thank you all, and go you mighty.